Gurpreet, welcome back to moneyHOP Q&A session. Great to have you back. So in the last session we talked about IELTS a lot. You gave a lot of incredible insights over there. Yes, IELTS do help improve communication, but the real challenge for students start once they are abroad, the foreign country, their dream country. So their communication is extremely important, and most of the students overlook it. Like after IELTS, they forget about communication. So can you tell about some of the basic principles or guidelines that students overlook when they are going abroad?
Absolutely. So, as you know, that the basic principles of communication are very clear to people, right? I list the three most important principles of communication which help a student a lot in any of the foreign country or while they're studying abroad. Number one is definitely your clarity. Now, when I say clarity, I mean the choice of words and the choice of thoughts. That means whether or not are you able to express what you really wanted to express. Okay. So analyzing your thoughts and ideas, expressing it out with the help of the right words is called as the clarity here. The second principle that I would like to talk about would be conciseness, obviously. How fluently and how crisply are you able to deliver that idea to the person you want to deliver it to or to communicate it to, right? So, this simply means that you're using simple language, the language which is easily understandable to the other person. Last but not the least, that many people not consider as important a principle would be active listening. That means you need to listen the more, or you need to listen a lot before understanding and responding or before giving a feedback. So active listening is super important. When the student is just, or when the student has just gone outside, the student is expected to observe more than to express, right? So if you observe more people listening, interacting, talking, you will be able to imbibe their hand gestures, their slangs very easily and quickly. So, active listening and active observing, I would rather say here, is super important when you are traveling abroad or when you're living abroad for your educational degrees.
Now imagine a student abroad. He or she is in an entirely new scale. It's a different culture. How to be confident over there? Like I can speak English. Imagine I'm a student. I can speak English over here fluently. But imagine I'm going to
Yes.
Germany. It's a foreign country, right? So how to be
Yeah.
confident over there, and how can we express ourselves like you told? How can we actively listen over there and express good? So can you give students some tip about it?
Absolutely. This is a topic which is discussed by most of the trainers, and people are misguided upon that. They believe that confidence is something that can be brought, that can be learned, or that can be probably practiced, right? Which is not true. Confidence is built. Okay, in some people it is inbuilt, it is present already, and you just need to enhance it. But in others, you need to build it from the core, basically. So it is important to understand what exactly is confidence. Is speaking fluent, or is speaking fluently confidence? No. Is having a lot of information confidence? No. Or is it having great communication skills is confidence? No, none of these three delivers or guarantees you a confident communication or a confident personality. It is always the amalgamation or the combination of certain aspects and other factors which make you a confident being within. So, when I say confident, let's take an example of the session or while I'm interacting with the audience. Why am I interacting with the audience? Because I know I can add value to their life, or I can add value to their information that they already have regarding studying abroad. Why do I have that kind of assurance? Because I have information. Okay. Why am I delivering the information? Because I know how to deliver information effectively to the other person. And I know that the other person would understand it because of the choice of words I'm using, or maybe because of the gestures I'm using. So it is an amalgamation of everything: information, fluency, the fact, and the assurance that you know or you have that you will be able to add certain value in the other person that you're communicating with. So that is really important. Confidence is not only what you think about yourself, that would be called as vanity. Confidence is what are you able to deliver to the other person who is the audience. That is confidence. Credibility, again, I would like to mention here.
You told about gesture. The next question is exactly about it, the body language part. Yes, we
Mhm.
can fiddle with words, verbal communication up to a limit we can improve, but body doesn't like. And body language is something that we do subconsciously. How can we improve body
Yes.
language when a student is abroad?
Again, body language and confidence go hand in hand. They're two best friends, okay? So remember this all the time. If I'm very nervous, I might fidget with my hair a lot, or I might look here and there a lot. I might not be able to make a good eye contact with you right now, or with my audience for that matter. Okay, if I'm underconfident, I might be sitting in a very stiff manner, which is like this. So again, if you're confident enough, your hand gestures would be moving more freely. Okay, there would not be any tension around you in terms of any space. You will be able to use your space very appropriately. Secondly, I would say that eye contact is super important. Okay. Third thing that many people overlook is, again, listening to the other person and telling him or her that you're with them on the same page. So maybe if you're talking, I'll always say, yeah, yes, I get that, you're right. So gestures like these help the other person get the assurance that whatever I'm speaking, whatever I'm delivering, is being delivered in the correct manner. Okay. Last but not the least, another super important thing with gestures while you're communicating is a very friendly and open body language. Okay. So, probably not crossing your arms, because that is considered as a very closed body movement. And the other person might, become a little uncomfortable while expressing their views. So, be as open as possible while you're communicating to both understand and express your own thoughts.
Now let me ask a little bit controversial question. A lot of people give like a lot of communication tips online. A lot of communication tips are there online. WhatsApp universities are there that give out a lot of tips. Uh, is it dangerous? Are there chances that students pick up some wrong communication basics or ideas from there? What is your take on it?
Definitely, I would say it is a controversial question. And as we know, we're having so many WhatsApp universities running on. There's no dearth of online training, of online coaches these days, right? That tell you millions of new information, and you save their reels on Instagram and then watch it later. Or sometimes you don't even mind watching them later, right? It's just saved in your like in the dump box, basically. So I think the very first mistake that a lot of people make while they're abroad is gaining the fake accent very quickly. Okay. I hope you remember that we've discussed about accents earlier. Having or developing an accent requires time, and it should be important for you to give yourself that kind of time and that kind of observation so as to develop your country specific style. Okay. There's no harm in developing an accent, but do not develop a fake accent because it sounds very wrong, first. And secondly, you won't be able to focus on what are you communicating, but you will be focusing more on how am I communicating. So here 50% of the work is remained undone basically. Secondly, would be speaking too much unnecessarily, just to express yourself out or just to showcase how good you are at communicating, right? Because the more you speak, or the unnecessarily things that you might speak of, would reduce your credibility in front of an interviewer or in front of a professor for that matter. You speak obviously if you're supposed to give a presentation or some debate or anything like that, but keep your words so precise and so well thought of that each word that you speak is listened, it's heard out there, and people are able to comprehend it well. Last but not the least, many people think that more fluent they are, the better speakers they become, which is absolutely a myth, right? You need to speak with great tonality. You don't have to be monotonous, right? So I am speaking with some, words I'm emphasizing upon more, the others less. So the speech sounds very interesting and entertaining. So that is how you have to be.
Uh, Gurpreet, you told about slang. I have a question about it. So most students pick up slang to socially mix over there. So imagine a student going to UK. Why
Yeah.
he or she picks up slang is to mix up with with the locals over there, the UK guys or girls over there. So how? So is it a bad habit, or how can we still socially mix up with them without copying their slang?
It's not a bad habit to pick up slangs of the country that you are living in for longer periods, right? So if we are living in Delhi, we proudly say we are Delhiites. Okay, so we do know certain slangs of our area as well. So definitely you should be aware of certain slangs, and it's impossible to be aware of them while you're in India, technically speaking. You have to go there. uh, I think the best way to get involved with people in a much more meaningful sense could be probably joining some society, especially the cultural societies, which are a lot there in UK, if I may talk about that specific country. So definitely in the UK, people don't say, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" or "What's up, bro?" So instead of "What's up?", what they usually say is, "Hey, mate, you right?" So that is another slang that you should know beforehand, which is a very general way of interacting with people to start or to begin small talks for that matter. And they won't say, "What are you doing?" They might just say, "What you telling me?" They don't say even telling, they say tellin. So they just eat up some words, the British slang, the British accent, it's very famous there. So I think the best way to avoid culture shocks is to be a part of their culture and participate a lot in intercultural activities. Because remember, you're not the only international student in and abroad. In abroad, there are going to be at least, I'd say, 60% of the students who are international students. They might be from China, Japan, Canada, US, if you're studying in UK. So that aspect is supposed to be taken care of very carefully. Okay. So being sensitive to other cultures, okay, that's super important. You cannot say the word nigger in the UK to to a person who belongs from Africa or is an African American, right? So you need to be aware of the culture. You need to be aware of the sensitivities that lie in their culture also. That is definitely going to take some of your time, that you need to invest in there only.
So, coming to the last question. So, we all know effective communication is very important. Let it be for studying abroad, even domestic also for studying communication is important, and especially for career over there. So, can you
Yes.
tell some tips, some everyday activity that students can practice from today that help them improve communication?
That help them from today. So from
Yes.
day one onwards,
Yes.
which is the day
So that
that they saw us.
they can integrate in their daily habits. Say, let's let them spend 5 minutes, and they can improve
Mm.
their communication. So any tips like that you have in mind? You being an expert communication coach, you would be having some secret mantras. So can you share a little bit of it for the students who are watching this video so that they can communicate as effectively as you are doing?
Well, I'll definitely spill the beans for our audience who have been, hooking up so long up to our video here. So I think the quick mantra, the 5 minute mantra for acing your communication would be number one. You could refer a dictionary, you could go online, research good 5 words or good 5 vocabulary words on everyday basis. Make a little notebook and note it down there. Secondly, stand in front of the mirror and literally speak anything in English. Like literally. You yourself are going to see a huge change from day one to day five, even. You will be able to speak much more confidently then. Last but not the least would be listening a lot of English. So I think all of us are the Netflix people here, right? We love to watch Netflix series. So make sure either you watch it in the real English language only with subtitles, or even if you're watching it in your native language, make sure that you have switched on the subtitles, because that, till date, to me it tells me so many new words. So for you people, you would be able to explore a lot of new words, a lot of new phrases, slangs of specific countries via that.
Gurpreet, a lot of people would love to know about you. You have already spoken about yourself in the previous video. Still,
Yes.
for the new audience, can you tell about yourself?
Well, yes, as you already know, my name is Gurpreet Kaur, and I'm a communications and a learning and development expert. I'm a freelancer. I have trained approximately 15,000 people in their IELTS journey for now, and have also trained at least more than 10,000 people in their interviewing journey as to how to give a perfect interview, how to write resumes. So, all the students who are listening to me or who are watching my video today can, DM me if they have any queries regarding their career, IELTS, and obviously their communication skills.
Thanks a lot, Gurpreet.
Thank you, Vishnu.